Good morning to everybody and welcome to Timeout. My name is Jack Windt, and yes, it's been 50 episodes today and I can't believe it, but as I hear that waterfall behind me, I'm just reminded of that refreshing sound, and I trust that these episodes of Timeout have also brought a little bit of refreshing into your life during this time. So we're just going to celebrate. Bye! Don't go away. There goes our 50th episode. I'm going to share something very exciting with you soon. I'll catch you in a few minutes. Good morning to everybody again. It's Timeout, Jack Windt. And this morning I want to say success is not enough. And as much as we all want to be successful, and there's nothing wrong with it, it's a little bit of an enigma because it promises a lot and oftentimes it doesn't deliver what it promises. So just hang in there, and I'm going to show you something that's much greater than success in a while. But while we're speaking about success, when I grew up and I was at school, people used to ask, and I'm sure they asked you too, what do you want to become when you grow up? And I used to say, not poor. Because I wanted to be successful. I wanted to own things. I wanted to do things. I wanted to become somebody just like everybody else. And I think in itself that isn't necessarily wrong. But that's a path that takes us onto a certain direction in our lives that's sometimes a little bit of a trap. Now, there was a man that wrote a book. His name was Bob Buford. It's called Halftime, the book. And in it, he spoke about that oftentimes when we grow up, we pursue success, and then we hit halftime in our lives. It could be any age, and we suddenly realize that we need to change our lifestyle, and we start striving to be significant. Now, he's not the only one that's ever said this principle of success and significance comes a long way. But I want to just speak about success for a moment. Now, if you had to ask people 30 years ago what was success, it would be defined differently. But today, where we live, oftentimes success is equated with wealth, with stuff, with materialistic things, with influence, with being popular, acquiring homes and lands and being able to buy things and people liking you, which is none of those things are wrong. But the problem with success is that oftentimes it doesn't always tell you the end of the road where it's leading. And so you chase, and I chase after it, only to find that, as I said before, there's no pot at the end of the rainbow when it comes to success. Now, when we speak about significance, that's a different thing. Significance is a total different concept. So if you had to think about success is something that I want to do in my life, I want to strive for my goals, I want to live to make my life count, then success is very much about us. And when you look at significance, if you want to be significant in life, then you have to say it's very much about other people. How I make other people's lives successful, how I leave an impression in others that will be a lasting impression. Now, both these entities, success and significance, both have a cost attached to them. Both require sacrifices. Many times when we are successful, the sacrifices are personal, they're close, and when we are no longer alive, those successes are quickly forgotten because of the sacrifices we made that were personal, close to us. Whereas if we are significant, we also make sacrifices, but those sacrifices are oftentimes made for other people. And even when we're gone, people can still remember the things that we have done because they were significant. They left a mark. Now, I always think about, what you're paying for significance is paying forward. It's like legacy. You're paying forward for years to come to know that somewhere that will make a difference in somebody's life. So to be significant is definitely the better of the two. Now, you can be successful and significant. It's possible. All I'm saying is that if you had to choose of the two, to be significant far outweighs to be successful. Now, I'm saying that because there have been, in terms of what definition success is, thousands of people that have been very successful. And when they die, nobody can remember them, and there's no lasting impression of anything. After a year or two, they are forgotten. And then there are a group of people that are significant. And let me say to you that those people, when they die, years and decades and centuries later, they can still be remembered. I think about a man that Steve Jobs, which we all knew, and he was a tremendously successful man, pursued his goals, and unfortunately he passed away early in his life, in his 50s. And I think to myself, oftentimes we say, I'm going to chase my dream, and I'm going to be successful, and one day I'll have my half time when I decide, and I'll look at doing more significant things in my life. But we never know how long our lives are going to be. So if we're going to pursue something, I would say we should be pursuing significance. Now, one of the greatest, I would say, significant person ever in the world, in history, was a man called Jesus in the Bible. And if I had to ask you and ask people, if we had to judge Jesus about the modern standards of success, Jesus was not successful. He never acquired wealth. He had a purse, but it was to feed the poor and his disciples. He had sandals on and a cloak, but he wasn't a wealthy person. He never had lands and camels and oxen. He never acquired anything that people could say, wow, Jesus is really successful. Yes, he had some popularity with certain people, and they came when he was doing the miracles and he met their needs, but he also had a lot of resistance where people defamed him. And at the end of his life, a lot of people were not there. Very few people were there to see the end of Jesus's life. They had all run away. As a matter of fact, of his 12 disciples, one had betrayed him. And so if you had to say, was Jesus successful in modern terms? Absolutely not. Now, was Jesus significant? Absolutely. Jesus was the most significant figure in history because he paid forward for us. He paid forward with his life to help other people achieve their goals. It wasn't all about him. He wanted to leave something that was going to be a legacy. Now I want to encourage us this morning. Oftentimes people say, Jack, I can't be significant in life because I'm not successful yet. Well, I want to say that if we look at the example of Jesus in the Bible, we don't have to be successful to choose to be significant. It's a choice we make. And I really believe that if we choose to be significant in our lives, if we choose to focus on making other people successful, and when we die one day, we will still be remembered. And in a way, I feel that if you want to ask me what is a real definition of success, then it would be to end our lives also being significant in life. My name is Jack Windt. You've been watching Timeout. I'll catch you next week.